Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of It's Not Just a Video Game. Now this week I wanted to try something different. My brother, Casey Luck, is a huge Evil Within fan, so I thought it wasn't really my right to talk about this game when he is a much bigger enthusiast for it than I am, so I'm letting him helm this segment. Anyway, enough talking, here we go. Horror games in the last 10 years have gone through a drastic evolution, shifting from slow-paced action horror, like Resident Evil 4, into games like these. Run! Amnesia, Outlast, and Five Nights at Freddy's. All these games triumph, where jump scares elevate the horror to an unprecedented, absolutely terrifying level.
You paying attention?
In other words, you're shitting your pants. Scratch that. You're shitting your brains out.
Let's just strut my way.
While terrifying is certainly not an issue, these games are so reliant on the jump scare that they lose steam after a few playthroughs. In turn, the jump scares get routine, the gameplay gets boring, and they're nothing more than a jump scare. Oh, here's a scary corner. Fuck, here's a scary tree. Shit, here's a note. Oh, there's Slender. As games of recent have fallen into the cycle of horror cliché, some gaming giants have caught on, including Shinji Mikami, director of Resident Evil 4.
昔は分かりやすいクリーチャーキャラ立ちしたものが立ってきたんですけど、やっぱりゾンビっていう存在がやっぱり一般に知られるようになってからは、なかなかより人間に近い、リアルなクリーチャーであるゾンビを超えれるものっていうのが未だ世に出てきてないっていう。
Despite Shinji's ongoing fascination with zombies, his past games have relied heavily on this common horror convention. Cue zombie, zombie at the corner, back up, shoot, dead, repeat. Don't get me wrong, Resident Evil 4 is an incredible game. It revitalized the slow-pacing mechanics of horror and ended up rejuvenating the genre as a whole. But this universe of zombies sit too comfortably in a familiar box. It's a box that has been borrowed all too often in the last 10 years. It was time for Shinji to make the next step. The Evil Within. This creature monster thing is invisible, and that's just the way it is. You see, this game is set in the head of a madman as you walk through his memories, emotions, fighting the madman's personifications of fear, anger, love. This game takes abstract concepts, thoughts, and ideas, attempting to ground them in a visual reality. That in itself is a contradiction, and the result are these weird, twisted, rule-breaking environments and creatures that butcher any preconception. These concepts and the way they are visualized have actually less in common with Resident Evil 4, but more with the less known but recent film, Enemy. Like Enemy, we see connections in how surrealism becomes an abstract form of horror. Both start off with a brief suspension from reality where you start asking the question, what is going on? But then things get weirder, where creatures and monsters show up with little explanation. You see, everything we knew or predicted about the universe is simply gone. Like, what the hell is going on? Enemy visualizes these terrors. But for the Evil Within, you have the controller, and you have to suffer through the constantly changing surreal world that Shinji created. To show this, well, let's cue Boxhead. This guy, yeah, he's Boxhead. I mean, Shinji is literally fucking with you. I mean, his head's a safe, but the last thing you feel is safe. I mean, let's be honest. It's not the craziest thing you or I have ever seen. I mean, it's just a guy with the safe on his head. It can't be too crazy, right? But then you begin fighting him, and then you kill him. Woo! Okay, the screen's shaking, it's getting yellow. Why is there I just noticed those other safes in the room. Now they're oh. So, as you're fighting him, you learn that what you're fighting was simply a spawn. You see, all the different safes that are around the level, yeah, that's just another spawn. And you're technically in a room full of box heads. And then the fight culminates with the final spawn, a sort of mini box who tries to grab you, showing that this box head will do whatever it takes to get you. Again, breaking the rules of horror. You go from a guy with a box on his head, which is weird, but it's not crazy. And then you realize that you're fighting spawns. Now the rules are bending. And then finally, you fight this mini box head. Well, the monsters, the gameplay, the world of abstraction and dynamic change is Shinji's understanding of what the next step is in horror games. Using the surreal landscape of a madman's mind is a genius way to rid yourself of horror conventions and break away from the rules. Reality is gone, and this game is arguably more cinematic, visceral, and certainly surreal than any jump scare horror games across the video game landscape. You see, when gamers lose the ability to comprehend the rules of the game in which we're playing, we lose power, we lose authority, and we cannot plan or think rationally. As a result, we become pawns subjected to whatever curveballs lie ahead, as if the game itself becomes the player and we are trapped in this beautiful, confounding paradox of suffering. And for that, The Evil Within is not just a video game.